Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Okay, so this week's lesson will be about the basics of how to use SPSS to enter data, code data, clean data, and to analyze and report descriptive statistics. Yeah. Okay, hopefully by now you all have a working or functional version of SPSS, whether the version 18 that I gave you or another version, okay, 20 ke 21 ke. Right, so basically this is how a blank program will look like. The data view is where you input the information, while variable view is how you code the program. So let's say you want to code, so you enter the data, gender, type is usually numerical, anything that is if you want to measure something in currency, that's dollar. Something that is wordy is usually strings, but usually if you code something or something with numbers like pH level or the level of glucose or protein inside certain food substance, you can use numerical. Okay, label, same. And then put the value if your data has various categories. In this case, represents male and to female. Okay, and usually categorical data we use as nominal. If we were to use Likert scale, usually we will take ordinal, and if we have a precise measurement for, let's say, weight or pH level, we can use the scales measure. Okay, right. So that is the traditional way of doing it. Once you've labeled variable, so we go to data view. This is, let's say, your first respondent. So you put number 1. Oops. See, go enter female 2, female, and etc. But we are not going to do that today because we have already collected the data to Google Form, and there is actually a shorter way of entering the data, whereas you extract the information from, let's say, Google Form or SurveyMonkey or any other tool to gather your data, and we can copy it into SPSS. But there's a catch. What is that catch? The catch is you cannot import your raw 100% raw data from, let's say, Google Form or SurveyMonkey at all. You will at least need to code it first. Okay, I will demonstrate to you what happens if you take the data directly 100% bulat daripada Google Form dan masukkan ke dalam SPSS. Okay, so inside e-learn, saya dah sediakan attach 2 Excel file, satu ialah raw, satu ialah recode. Okay. Anything from Excel you can actually import. Tapi macam saya kata tadi, bahaya kalau you import file yang raw tu ke dalam SPSS. Sebab apa? Sekejap saya demonstrate. Okay. Let's say you dah collect data, you dah extract the information from Google Form to Excel, and you tak sabar-sabar berkobar-kobar nak masukkan dalam SPSS. So you pun pergilah open, pergi ke data, cari ke Excel, and you pergi ambil yang raw ni. So you pun buka. Klik OK. And from the looks of it, macam cantik lah kan. Tengok ada gender, ada maklumat tentang bangsa, berapa kerap makan, berapa kerap dia makan frozen ready to eat food, dia punya rating semua kan. So you fikir the last thing to do is simply record kan. So you pergilah record. Maybe you nak repair kat sini, jantina, gender, and tukarkan ni ke string. Katakan you nak tukar ni ke numerical, and then you nak labelkan labelkan ni jantina, and you nak masuk kat sini value, you pun masuklah male and dua female. And you klik OK. Tengok apa jadi kat jantina you. Terus hilang. The same thing will happen kalau you cuba kod untuk bangsa, etnicity, negeri asal, umur dan sebagainya. So that is why jangan terlampau gelojoh teruja nak import raw Excel file whether you receive it from Google Form ke SurveyMonkey or any other survey tool, and import bulat-bulat ke dalam SPSS, which is why we need to recode our data first before we import into SPSS. And for that purpose, that is why we would open STM3104 recode. Once you open recode ni, okay, as you can see here, tengok dari jantina kita dah kod siap-siap dah, dua untuk female, satu untuk male, ethnicity, Melayu nombor 1, Chinese nombor 2, India nombor 3, states of origin ada 1 hingga 12 state. In this class nampaknya tak ada siapa daripada Sabah dan Sarawak. Okay, age, occupation, dan juga all the items yang ada dalam questionnaire yang jawab itulah. Okay. So this is how it looks in the record form in the Excel. But our job as now It's only beginning, yeah? Okay. In paper form, this is how the questionnaire would look like lah, yang jawab dalam form tu. Gambar. Section A ialah maklumat peribadi or demographic information. Masuk section B ialah sikap terhadap frozen ready to eat food or the attitude towards frozen to eat food. Dia ada dalam berapa? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, dan 13 item. Section C ialah sikap terhadap penggunaan frozen ready to eat foods. Ini banyak, ada 19. Dan last sekali, section D, niat memberi terhadap frozen ready to eat food. Basically dalam survey ni, the main independent variable will be section B, attitude towards frozen ready to eat food, and attitude towards the usage of frozen ready to eat food, and the sole dependent variable will be purchase intention atau niat membeli. Okay. Alright. Okay, so let's go back to our SPSS. Ingat ya, do not open the import raw files into SPSS. Okay. Before you do that, you need to recode. So let's do the correcting. Let's disregard this spoiled data set. We open data. Click on Excel. Don't click on exercise raw, because that was the purpose for me to show you what are the dangers if you choose to import raw data, yang semata-mata raw data into SPSS. What I want you to do is click on this file, the second file, STM3104, recode. Click open. Okay. And you'll get something like this. Okay. Now all we need to do is fix the labeling. Okay, let's say let's fix satu-satu dulu ya. Katakan jantina. Padam all the numbers. Maybe just like jantina. Or if you want to leave single language, you can take out either the Malay or the English version, but I'll just leave both of them on. Illegal character, maybe. Okay lah, kita ambil yang English for demonstration purpose. Gender. Alright, now let's key in the value 1 male. Female. And now let's see whether we have successfully coded gender kat sini. Go to data view. See? Ada female, ada the male kan. Now to see, this is what is represent. Let's see it in the code form. You go to this icon here, which shows the left arrow to 1 and the top arrow to right. See, the values sudah tukar. Means kita dah berjaya. Okay, kita baru saja code 1. We have about apa lagi? 49 to go. So kita akan code satu-satu. Okay. Alright. You boleh follow the video demonstration ni slowly. You boleh pause or rewind any time you wish untuk tengok macam mana saya code setiap satu dari 50 items ni. Okay, you see your screen here. Sekarang untuk gender, you Kod 1 sebagai male, 2 sebagai female. Yes. The next second column, bangsa ethnicity. In this class, kalau dalam questionnaire dia ada sebagai part motion lah, tetapi in this class you ada Malay, Chinese and Indian saja. Okay. 1, you record dia sebagai 1. Malay, second Chinese, 3 Indian and 4 others. Negeri asal pula, or state of origin, you can code it in this manner. Kita start dengan negeri di pantai barat dulu, kemudian ke pantai timur semenanjung, dan sekali Sabah ke Sarawak. Okay. Nombor 1 Perlis, kod nombor 2 Kedah, nombor 3 Pulau Pinang, nombor 4 Perak, nombor 5 Selangor, nombor 6 KL, nombor 7 Negeri Sembilan, nombor 8 Melaka, nombor 9 Johor, 10 Kelantan, 11 Terengganu, Pahang nombor 12, Sabah 13 dan Sarawak 14. Okay, next, nombor 4 ialah umur. Yang ni senang saja sebab you all sebaya. So, all you need to do is masukkan nombor 1, 18 hingga 25 tahun. In actual surveys, kalau you will get katakanlah 100, you mungkin akan dapat 4 age yang berbeza. So kalau you ada different ages, just masukkan katakan 2, 25 hingga 30, and nombor 3 katakan 30 hingga 45 and so on. But in this case, disebabkan you all sebaya, so 100% will be between 18 to 25 years old. Okay. Tahap pendidikan tertinggi. Surprising in this class, ada 4 qualification. Yang paling surprisingly ada yang dah ada masters. So tanya-tanya jugalah, dah ada masters tetapi nak ambil degree in food tech. Tak tahulah, maybe that person is taking food tech ni as a second degree. Tak apalah, wallah lah. But for qualification, you label macam ni: 1 SPM, 2 diploma, 4 SPM, 3 degree and 4 master. Hebat kelas ni, ada seorang dah masters. Okay, moving on ke nombor 6. Occupation. Kalau dalam question A tu dia ada, tak silap saya, 4 element choice. Tapi memandangkan you all student, just klik label 1 as student saja. Okay. Anggaran pendapatan, yang ni sama juga macam negeri asal. You are quite diverse. Some are B40, some are M40. Okay, tengok skrin saya. Nombor 1, you label as earning less than 1,500. Number 2, earn between 150 to 299. Number 3, earning between 3,000 to 399. Number 4, earning from 4,000 to 499. Number 5, earning between 5,000 to 5,999. And lastly, 6, earning more than 6,000 a month. Okay, that's for anggaran pendapatan. Number 8 is, have you ever eaten or know about frozen ready-to-eat food? It's either yes or no. Okay, 1 yes, 2 no. Number 9, within a week, how often do you cook? So you will label this section, this variable as the following: number 1, every day. Number 2, on weekdays. Number 3, on weekends. Or number 4, never. Moving on to number 10. If food are not eaten at home, where do you usually get your meals? This is one way you can label it. Number 1, eat at a restaurant. Number 2, order takeaways. Number 3, buy frozen ready-to-eat foods at the supermarket. Okay, our final demographic variable will be how often would you buy ready-to-eat frozen food. Based on the questionnaire, there are 7 possible answers. This is how it is ranked based on the questionnaire. Number 1 is never. 2, seldom, jarang-jarang. 3, once every few months. 4, once a month. Number 5, twice a month. Number 6, twice a week. And number 7, more than twice a week. So daripada kat sini, daripada sangat-sangat jarang makan sehingga dah sangat-sangat kerap dia makan consume ready to eat food. Okay. Alright, so that covers the demographic information. Now on your screen, I would assume that from row 12 to row 24 is a bunch of long sentence. Okay. Now, if you want to keep that long sentence, boleh, tetapi you akan pening kepala lah. So, for the sake of demonstration, this is how I recommend you to rate items relating to the first independent variable, which is attitude towards frozen ready-to-eat food. Ada 13 item ke semuanya. Jom kita belik sekejap. Kita punya questionnaire tadi. Okay, this is how it looks like in the questionnaire. Senang disediakan, dimakan masa bagi untuk beli. Okay, so we will record attitude towards frozen ready to eat food as A, and based on the number of the item, since senang disediakan, we will rate that as A1, dimakan masa as A2, dimakan usaha untuk masak S3, and the list go on. The same approach kita akan guna juga untuk code items dalam sikat terhadap penggunaan ready to eat frozen meals. Yang ni banyak sikit, ada 19. And last kali, kita akan gunakan label C diikuti dengan nombor item untuk rate soalan berkenaan dengan niat membeli terhadap frozen ready to eat meals tu. So kita pergi balik kepada SPSS kita. Okay, kita tengok satu demi satu ya. From row 12 hingga row 24. Pay attention to this row. 13 row. Ini you akan tukarkan segala nombor yang panjang-panjang berjela tu kepada A1 sehingga A13. You rate them as numerical. Label pun sama dengan nama dia A1 hingga A13. Now as for the values, this is how you rate them. You rate number 1, I strongly disagree. Number 2, slightly disagree. Number 3, neutral. Number 4, slightly agree. And number 5, strongly agree. These labels are based on what is already inside the questionnaire. Okay, kita dah predetermine dah Likert scale ni 1 hingga 5 tu label berapa. Alright. Okay, adjust section A accordingly berdasarkan apa yang saya terangkan tadi. Saya nak share kat sini. Kalau you nak copy paste, let's say from number A1, you boleh, tetapi dalam SPSS ni dia tak boleh katakan highlight the whole column and paste sekaligus. Dia kena, kalau you nak copy paste, you kena copy daripada pertama dan paste satu-satu. Okay, and saya lupa, pastikan you label you punya demographic information or items as nominal, and all items that are Likert scale starting from A1 as ordinal. Okay. Alright, saya ulang. Recode daripada row 12 sehingga row 24 items yang represent attitudes towards frozen ready to eat food as A1 hingga A13. Dan dalam values tu tukar recode value dia daripada 1 strongly disagree sehinggalah 5 strongly agree. Lepas you repair 12 hingga 24, pergi pula ke row item dia 25 hingga 43. Sama juga macam yang buat tadi di section A. Recode everything, all the wordings yang panjang lebar dan pening tu as B1 sampai B19. Same goes for the label and same goes for the values. Lastly, you do the same from row 44 to row 50. In this case, you will recode items relating to purchase intention towards frozen ready to eat food as C1 until C7. Okay. Sama saja. And enter the values. Sama juga. Okay. Alright. Do that first, and then we will proceed to data cleaning. Okay. You may pause the video at this point of time so that you can successfully recode each of the items listed. Okay. Once you're ready, let's look at our data view just to ensure that we have successfully coded. Oops, sorry. Click on this, and by right, you should also get what you see on my screen. If the icon is sync tenggelam, dia akan keluar apa yang kita telah label. Kalau dia timbul, dia keluar segala numbers. Okay. Now let's scroll down to respondent number 89 and 90. In reality, saya dapat 88 saja. So saya treat nombor 89 dan 90, dua hamba Allah daripada kelas yang tak jawab ni, saya cipta data sendiri dan saya hilangkan beberapa value untuk saya demonstratekan ada missing value, dan you boleh calculate, do an analysis to calculate what are the possible values yang missing dalam ni. Okay. Let's tengok sini. Negeri asal ada 2 lompong. Item A2 ada lompong. B6 ada lompong. Dan C7 juga ada lompong. So kita nak repair those values, masukkan values yang logical untuk dua yang kosong ni. Okay. So what does this represent? Okay, this represents that sometimes in reality, when you do surveys, whether it's traditional pen and paper or online surveys, some people of your respondents might miss certain questions. Walaupun kalau dalam senario you buat survey online, maybe when you letakkan setiap soalan tu wajib jawab, tetapi mungkin you have to bear in mind technology ni tak perfect. Katakan that the moment of time your respondent answer tu ada network problem. So apabila dia key in the answer, and apabila you gather ni through the Excel sheet, kosong ataupun angka dia pelik-pelik. So selalunya untuk data yang incomplete ataupun cacat ni, kalau you punya sample size dah dah melampaui jumlah minimal sampel you. Katakanlah you punya sampel ni 100 dan you dapat 120, tetapi dalam 120 tu you dapati katakan 3 hingga 5 responden yang tak jawab lengkap ataupun bagi jawapan yang pelik yang tak ada dalam senarai jawapan yang sepatutnya lah. You can actually discard them. But in some situation where you cannot discard any respondents sebab you kumpul data ngam-ngam, your last option is to repair the missing values, in which I'm going to demonstrate to you. Okay. Kita start dengan ni dulu. The first gap, the first kelompokan ni, negeri asal. Go to analyze, transform. The function for replace missing value is this one, replace missing values. Kita pergi ke negeri asal. Okay, click series mean and click OK. So, SPSS akan report sini ada 2 missing value dan dia generate the value tu. You have to scroll all the way to the right kat sini. So di sini you tengok sini dia dah generate nombor 8. So kalau ikutkan level tu negeri nombor 8 tu ialah Melaka. So tak apa, kita boleh copy, paste kat sini. Okay, note that dia tak betul-betul bulat 8. So kita kena round up the numbers to 8. Round this figure up to 8 and baru Melaka akan keluar. Okay, so we fix one part. So let's fix the other 3. Number A2. Number A2, B6, dan juga C7. Kita buat serentak lah, sebab sikit saja. Go to transform, replace missing values. Let's reset this thing and masukkan. Okay, A2 lagi 2 apa? Lupa pula. Okay, tak apa, cancel. A2 B6 C7. Okay. Reset. A2 B6 C7. Click OK. SPSS will generate the values. So kita ambil mana dulu? Kita ambil C2. A2 kita generate SPSS generate S5. So kita pergi ke A2. Paste. Round up the numbers first and then dia akan keluar. Pergi pula ke B6. Paste. Round up the numbers first. Benarkan. And lastly, C7. Okay, round up the values. And there, your data is fixed. Okay, kita delete dulu sebelum kita tutupkan. Clear? Okay. Since kita dah progress this much, I think it will be safe kalau kita save dulu this document ni. You can read ini sebab saya dah cipta dah ni, so dia akan ada save punya. Tapi kalau you all still untitled, sama juga ni, macam words, just save and namakan and give the appropriate file name for this exercise. Katakan STM3107, you nak letak exercise ke or anything yang appropriate, you can do that. Okay. Alright, so that is replacing missing values. Yeah. The same can be applied if you have data yang ada precise measurement in terms of weight. Okay, sekejap saya demonstrate macam mana. Ini you tak payah ikut, saya just nak show for the sake of demonstration that you can also repair missing data. Ini katakan kita ambil weight, numerical 40.2 weight in kgs. Kita ambil nilai dia in scales. Okay, kita masukkanlah randomly 30 122.56 8 5. Okay, kita copy paste. Sampai responden nombor 90. Okay, so kita ada banyak missing values ni dari segi weight. So we can also do the same thing by transform, replace missing values. We need to reset everything and taking the weight or acidity or pH level or glucose content or fat content, masukkan dalam new variables, klik the series mean, SPSS pun akan calculate, and the values pun akan keluar. So untuk mudah cerita, copy paste saja values yang tak ada ke dalam weight. Okay, see? Problem solved. So that's how you replace missing values in SPSS to your data. But the more general rule yang saya lebih suka is try to minimize the errors when you collect data lah. Okay, that is yang paling afdal daripada you calculate whether you have to calculate the missing values guna SPSS ni. Okay, alright, kita buang. Okay, next lesson saya akan demonstrate you how to use the transform function, mainly to rate every item yang ada yang diratekan sebagai Likert scale, which involves item dalam section A sampai section C lah. Sebab apa? Kalau kita nak buat comparing mean scores, katakan between male and female towards the score of sikap terhadap frozen ready to eat food, kita tak boleh run ANOVA ataupun t-test berdasarkan male and females, kemudian kita masukkan items A1 sampai A12. We cannot do that. We first need to create a mean value for A1 until A12, A13. Same goes to items in B and item C. Okay, kalau nak bagi analogi mudah, kita anggap kita nak compare means terhadap male and female terhadap 3 jenis kereta, dan kereta ni adalah A yang bernama attitude towards ready to eat food, kereta B namanya attitude towards the usage of ready to eat food, and kereta C adalah behavior intention. Apa yang you all tengok kat sini sebenarnya ialah komponen-komponen kereta tu masing-masing. Cuma kita belum ada value terhadap kereta tu sendiri. So this is what saya nak demonstrate kat you, okay? And jangan kata ANOVA, correlation ke regression ke, you tak boleh ambil any of these demographic values against each of these individual items. No, you have to calculate, you have to do any of those analysis between the mark or the creator, not against the individual components ni. Okay, so how do you perform that? You go to transform, compute variables, and we need to name the target variables. In this case, A kita namakan sebagai attitude towards frozen, katakanlah. Okay, kita akan pilih all, kita akan pilih means. And dia akan keluar formulanya kat sini. Okay. So, kita masukkan satu-satu, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, A7, A8, A9, A10, 11, 12, dan A13. Okay, jangan klik OK yet, sebab kita kena pastikan letak koma bagi setiap ni, baru dia akan compute mean value tu secara betul. Kalau kita buat, kita tak letak koma, kita tak letak titik, dia tak akan compute. Okay. Okay, semua dah ada ni, should be okay. Okay. Let's see dia generate betul tak. Okay, as you can see here, attitude towards frozen is the representation mean of item daripada A1 sehingga A13. And this is the value, 4.9. Okay. Okay, kita repeat the process for items dalam B and C pula. Pergi balik ke transmute, compute. Kita padam saja semua value sebelum A ni. Dan masukkan B pula. kena masukkan satu-satu. B1 sehingga B19. Jangan lupa letak koma ya. Bagi setiap item tu. Okey, kita nama ni attitude. Kita namakan usage. Katakan attitude stores usage of frozen ready to eat food. Click OK. Alright, the value should appear right here. So attitude towards usage, kreatanya mewakili komponen daripada B1 hingga B19. So that is kreta B, kreta B ataupun kreta namanya attitude usage. Alright, mari kita calculate the overall value for kreta C, which is behave sikap sikap terhadap pembelian frozen ready to eat food, or in English called behavior intention, purchase intention of frozen ready to eat food. Okay. Intention, okay. Alright. Masukkan satu-satu. Put the commas. Click OK. As you can see here, the values semua dah keluar. So behavior intention represents all the items from C1 until C7. Okay. Once you've done that, baru you boleh proceed nak analyze, nak do descriptive ke, you nak do correlation ke, ataupun you nak compare means, nak buat t-test or t-test or ANOVA, you boleh dah. Setelah kita test kejap, saya nak tunjuk. Let's compare means between independent t-test. Dan yang ada dua pilihan, cuma jantina, which is male and female lah. Kata kita masuk di sini. Dan kita measure dia punya behavior intention. Kena label dulu. Kita nak tengok significant atau tak significant je. So click OK. And the numbers will be generated lah. But yang paling penting, kita tengok sini. In this case, males to females sebenarnya tak equivalent. So kita kena tengok result for Welsh t-test, which is yang kolom bawah ni. But sama ada you assume equal atau not, tengok dia punya significant value 0.6. So kita straight away boleh conclude lah, gender tidak mempengaruhi nilai mean score terhadap responden berkenaan dengan behavior intention. Okay. So that's the reason why you need to calculate, to to compute variables, especially for liquid scale items. Katakan kalau food quality, you ada 10 item tentang food quality, you have to compute the values daripada item 1 hingga 10. Dan SPSS akan come up with an overall mean score di hujung sekali. Okay? Untuk semua variables yang you ada liquid scale. Untuk kalau you ada 2 independent, 1 dependent, meaning you akan ada 3 governing ataupun 3 variable induk lah. Okay? Kalau ada lagi banyak variable, lagi banyaklah variable induknya. Okay? But bear in mind, saya ulang lagi sekali, when you do analysis comparing means, correlation or whatever, you analyze based on the mark variable, not the anak-anak variable. Variable anak-anak ni yang C1 hingga C7, B1 hingga B9 tu paling kuat kalau nak analisis pun setakat frequency and percentage saja. You cannot go beyond doing correlation or doing regression or doing comparing means. Okay. For that, you will need to do the compute variable and generate the mean value. Okay. Okay. Next, I'm going to demonstrate how to do the descriptive analysis or the descriptive statistics, which is usually the earliest part to report when you do any research, whether it be hard science, pure science, or social science. You usually start with the section of descriptive statistics before you report the findings of other advanced analysis such as ANOVA t-test, correlation, structural equation modeling, or any other advanced analysis. Okay. So in this exercise, we're going to analyze each of the demographic information, the total 10 or 11, and then we are going to report the mean score value of items relating to the attitude towards frozen ready-to-eat food, attitude towards the usage of frozen ready-to-eat food, and lastly the customers the intention of purchasing ready-to-eat food. Okay. All right. So to do that, we go to analyze. Okay, for the demographic information, you can analyze them in frequencies. You can highlight all of them. Statistics. Okay, if you wish to see something else besides percentage and the n value, the frequency, you can select any of these if you want to see standard variation. If you are doing a normality test, you can see the skewness and kurtosis. Okay, but for the sake of demonstration, I'm not going to click on them. Another way of doing it, you can also include charts if you want to represent each of these categorical information or demographic information. For the sake of demonstration, let me just show bar chart. Okay, press it. Click OK. So SPSS will generate all this information. Now in reality, you can actually copy paste this into words, but please compile all the information properly inside the table. Do not copy bulat-bulat table SPSS ni ke dalam thesis or your report. Supervisor, examiner nampak, dia akan mengamuk gila-gila. Don't do that, okay? So, you can gather information from gender all the way to mana kita analyze. Berapa kerap kita you consume frozen ready-to-eat food, and when you do a proper table, it should look something like this. Sekejap saya tunjuk. Okay, this is generally how you should arrange your SPSS output into it. Okay, kemas. Title of the table, frequency and percentage, and the variables. Males berapa, females berapa, Malays, Chinese, Indians, where asal negeri mana, group age, highest qualification, and lastly, income groups, familiarity with ready-to-eat foods. Okay. And here's a general guideline on how you can report frequencies and percentage. Okay. Report which values are the highest and lowest. If you have two or more variables, rank them from the highest to lowest. Okay. And lepas you report the values from highest to lowest, you can summarize a bit lah what the frequency and percentage mean for each variable. Okay, how can you structure your report and frequency? You can follow this style. Code them, meaning put the subtopics. Chapter 4 usually in thesis represents the results. And point 1, what is the result talking about? So in this case, we want to tell the readers about respondent profile. And under respondent profile, we are going to talk about gender, ethnicity, until how often frozen ready-to-eat foods are purchased. So let me show you a few examples. After this, you can practice reporting the rest for maybe ethnicity, state of origin, and maybe how often do people in this class eat ready-to-eat foods. Okay. Let's go to example number 1, gender. So based on the information in the table, (84) versus 6. Oh, sorry, this is actually the PMP's group. Sorry, I said 6 versus 84. But roughly, beza. Guys, sikit sangat dalam kelas ni. Kita betul 6.6, and the percentage is 93.3. Okay, based on the formula yang saya tunjuk kat atas tadi, how to report, dia tulis sini. With regards to gender, more than 2/3 of them are female, while less than 1/3 are females. This clearly indicates that female really are no male students in this class. Okay. All right. Another example. Let's look at age group. With the age group, we can see that everyone fall under the category age of 18 to 25 years old. Percentage berapa, the N berapa. Thus, this indicates that everyone completed secondary school at the same time before enrolling into UMT's food technology program. Okay. Another example. Saya rasa yang ni pun saya lupa nak edit. Yang ni sebenarnya data daripada grup PMP juga. Tapi tak apalah. You boleh apply. So, ditulis ni macam mana. With regards to the monthly income, almost half earn berapa-berapa. It is followed by the second group, apa yang tinggi, third group, fourth group, fifth group, and the lowest. So berdasarkan data daripada PNP ni, it could be summarized that majority of the students class are from the B40 groups. Okay. Kalau this class ni, kalau nak compare to this class, maybe we can, kalau this class pattern dia, saya rasa lebih kurang sama jugalah. Kita cuma perlu rearrange the variable. Maybe, okay, in this class, the sequence should be apa? The most majority is earning less than 1,500, and then the second largest group is 105,000 to 299, followed by above 6,000. Then lastly, the smallest group involves 3,000 to 399, 5,000 to 599, and 4,000 to 4,009. So these two are the largest majority. So kita boleh conclude cara sama, mungkin kita kena ubah susunan chronologically lah, siapa yang paling besar, siapa yang tengah, dan siapa yang akhir. But we can still conclude that. Sama juga PNP. Most students come from the B40 families. Okay. Okay, now last example saya tunjuk. Okay, based on the numbers in table sekian-sekian, all students in STM3104 class are indeed familiar with frozen ready-to-eat food, 100%, and the amount is 90. So, macam mana kita boleh conclude? Kita boleh conclude maybe that it may indicate that students have been exposed to the knowledge of frozen ready-to-eat food in previously tilted class. Okay. Alright, so that is just 4 of the 11 examples. Saya ulang, formula dia lebih kurang sama je ni. Report which value are the highest and lowest. If you have 2 or more values, rank them from high to low and then summarize the frequency and percentage. Alright. Okay, some of you mungkin tanya-tanya, doktor, saya kena buat dalam table dan figures dia ke? Saya tak boleh ke guna apa? Charts. Okay. Kalau you nak guna charts pun boleh juga. After all, kita baru saja analyze apa and minta SPSS show the chart. So let's see how the chart is generated inside SPSS. Take it up. SP output. Yeah, bar chart. So you can use each of these individual bar charts to represent each of your variables. This jantina, ethnicity, asal dari negeri mana. But when you report dalam thesis, jangan copy paste bulat-bulat. Boleh punya ciptalah table ataupun chart yang elok sikit. Ya, saya kena buka contoh. Okay, if you wish to report using charts, this is one way you can do it. Ada gender. Okay, ini contoh gender. Regards to ni, berapa percentage are male, berapa percentage of female, and then conclude. In this population of study, there are more females than females, and you boleh masukkan chart dia kat sini. Okay. Ini contoh kalau nak buat ethnicity, staff reporting sama juga. Okay. Education background. Then followed by tables. And a report followed by charts. Okay. Alright, so that is style number 2, how you can report frequencies and percentages. Alright, final lesson for today. I'm going to show you how to report descriptive statistic for the items, delegate skill items. Okay. Alright, macam saya cakap tadi, hanya di peringkat statistik, descriptive statistik saja yang kita boleh nilai each of the individual components daripada A1 sampai A13, B1 hingga B19, C1 hingga C7. Beyond that, kita tak boleh buat penilaian based on individual items ni. Okay, so let's see. Go to descriptive statistics, pergi ke descriptive. Nak lagi kemas, kalau ikutkan just buat section A, followed section B, and then section C. Tapi saya nak cut this video short, saya akan masukkan semua sekali. A1 sampai C7. Masukkan loan options. Okay, the bare minimum untuk report descriptive statistic ialah mean score dan juga standard deviation. Kalau research you tentang benda lain, and you nak ambil precise measurement based on texture quality ke proximate analysis, apa lagi, level of fat, level of protein, enzyme yang ada dalam tu, you can also include variance range semua, maximum. But the bare minimums to report will just be mean and standard deviation. Range variance ni you boleh add on kalau tajuk research you memerlukan you report variance and range values tu. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's see what generates. Okay, basically inilah dia generate-nya. So kita akan report based on each variables, okay, A, B, and C. So what you do, copy the value saja yang relevannya, jangan copy paste table ni bulat-bulat ke dalam thesis you, okay. So once you copy the necessary information, which is the mean score and the standard deviation, your table should look something like this. Okay. So you can see here, I've imported the attitude towards frozen food table access as a result of the mean score and standard deviation of attitude towards frozen ready-to-eat food. Daripada A1 sampai A13. Ini pula B1 hingga B16, biasa B19. And juga C1 hingga C6 untuk purchase intention. Okay. Guidelines on how to report, sama juga, report the range of standard deviation, means and standard deviation, this time from the lowest to highest or highest to lowest, and summarize the mean score of all items. So kalau kita tengok nilai pada A1, daripada A lah katakan, so macam mana kita boleh report ni? Okay, look at the highlight, saya highlight sini. The magnitude of mean score relating to attitude towards frozen food range from 2.10 to 4.66 with the standard deviation range of 0.4 to 0.9. So it can be summarized that students in this class slightly agree with items A9, report the mean, slightly disagree with items A9, mean score berapa, A7, mean score berapa, and A8. They are neutral towards items A6, A10, A13. They are slightly agree with items A12, A11, A12, A4, A5, and they strongly agree with items A3, A1, and A2. Okay, all right. General rule how you can report mean score is macam ni. Kalau you perasan, saya kata segini, neutral towards items ada nilai yang bawah 3 kan. Sebab kalau ikutkan Likert scale, saya rate 3 tu as neutral. Tapi mungkin tanya, doktor, kenapa A6 2.81 ni report sebagai neutral? Okay, general rule you boleh follow. Kalau dia punya mean score tu atas pada 0.5, you round up to the higher value. If the value is below 0.5, you round out to the lower value. Okay. So that is the case of A6. Kita tengok slightly agree pula macam mana. Kita tengok A1 saya laporkan slightly agree sebab dia 3.53 which is above 0.5. So sama juga dengan A12 dan A4. Yang tiga-tiga ni saya round out to the nearest value. Okay. And as for yang strongly agree, cuba kita tengok A3, A1 dan A2. Dia punya value is above 0.5. So kita kata untuk items ni, dia strongly agree. Okay. Alright. So the same approach and principle of reporting ni juga boleh diaplikasi untuk B, attitudes to the usage of frozen food, and lastly, purchase intention of frozen ready-to-eat food. Okay. Alright. So that basically covers this week's lesson. Alright. You can follow. You can complete yourself. Try and practice and complete yourself the reporting of the mean score and of course the demographic informations, as well as do the exercise that we did earlier on, which is importing data from the recoded Excel file into SPSS and code them one by one. Okay, you can do and practice and rewatch the video as many times as you want. Okay, if there's any questions, you can feel free to contact me directly and I'll do my best to reply to you. Okay, all right, that'll be all for this week's lesson. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.